Hello friends, Namaste. Welcome to my YouTube channel SimmyAugustSpeaks. You are on the right track to be here for learning how to ace the ACE Health Coach exam in the first attempt. All of us have limited time. Time is money. That's what we have been told in the modern times. So keeping the importance of time in my mind, I will quickly tell you what to expect in this video. First, I will introduce myself. Then I will tell you about my feelings during and after the exam. Then I will tell you about how I studied for the exam. And lastly, I will giving you the tips to pass this competency-based exam in first time. I will be speaking about where to concentrate more, and if time permits, I will be going into the details of each chapter for better understanding of the study material. So first, to introduce myself, I am Simarjit Kaur, nicknamed as Simmy. My birth month is August. That's how it comes to SimmyAugust. So I am a full-time working professional, and my present job has nothing to do with the fitness and health industry. I have interest in health and fitness since long. So that's how I ended up learning about fitness from ACE, got connected with American Council on Exercise. I did my ACE CPT certified personal trainer coaching last year in March 2019, and on 29 July 2020 I just became ACE certified health coach, and I'm so happy and excited to share my journey with you. I have done one diploma in nutrition and health education also from Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi, India, which has helped me to understand the nutrition from individual's point of view as well as health education from community level. So now I can make even individual meal plans as well as help people in the community to understand their health in a better way. See, I have been a runner for the last 15 years. I have done so many half marathons as well as full marathons, not only in India but in USA also, when I was visiting the states for 5 months for doing my diploma course in Syracuse University in New York State. So interest for running and then learning how to keep your weight properly made me think about that how to guide other peoples after learning the basics properly. So this is how I started my learning for a personal trainer. And then when I was learning about personal trainer, there was a huge gap that why people don't follow the guidelines, as well as when they know that things you can do so much like for improving your nutrition as well as health, but people don't want to do. So what is that? People know what to do, but they don't know how to do it. So that gap I wanted to fill. So that is how I came to know about health coaching, and this is how I came to become a certified health coach. I love trekking, and I have a dream of going to Mount Everest in the coming future. So keeping that in my mind, my love for mountaineering, I go for rock climbing, and in September 2019 I did my basic mountaineering course from Uttarkashi Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, and soon I will be going for my advanced mountaineering course from Himalayan Mountaineering Institute, Darjeeling, India. So I'm so excited about my journey. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. I have done so many tracks with my family, with my young children and husband. in the Himalayan region. So you can feel that I am not related with the health and fitness industry, but since I have intrinsic motivation to do be fit and healthy, maybe that is the reason that I am able to understand these concepts related to health in a proper manner. And I will tell you, I started around 2 years back even horse riding. So age is just a number. At any point of time in your life you can learn new things, right? I think you agree with me. Now coming to the second point, how I felt during the exam and after the exam. My exam was supposed to start at 9:30, but somehow due to some access issues, the exam conductor said that the exam cannot be held at 9:30, it will take some time. So that waiting period of 30 to 40 minutes was like terrifying. I was under tension, but I tried to be as calm as possible. So once the exam started, the first question was about BMI and whether the person is obese, overweight, and waist to hip ratio was also given, and you have to find out whether the male or the female is at the highest risk for any disease because of these parameters. So the first question itself brought 3-4 parameters. You have to bring it in your mind and start calculating that if this is the BMI, he or she will be obese or maybe overweight, and if this is the waist hip ratio, that person will be at risk or not. So the first question took little time, but I had to take a deep breath and relax myself. Okay, I will be expecting more easier question after a few questions. Luckily, after second, third question, there were a few easy questions. There were a few very tough questions, but during the exam, like that pressure of time going running was always there, and luckily I could manage to do my first reading of the exam and doing the answers in first go in 2 hours. So I didn't flag even a single question, but I kept time for revising my entire questions because I wanted to be doubly sure that whatever I have done is correct. So in the next time, after 2 hours spending on the first doing the exam, then I took the time, I took a washroom break also, then I started revising it, and I think almost 4 to 5 questions I revised also. Like if the answer was B, maybe I did it A or C or D, whatever, depending on the correct answer, and which I judged that it should be. So by the end of the exam, I was totally exhausted. Still there were around 10 to 11 minutes left. I thought now enough of it, and I pressed the submit button, and there was a survey. Your score is ready. If you want to do survey, please do the survey. Oh no, I was not even in a mood to do that survey. I said give me the again press the submit button for the scores, and then I just show percentage like 84, 85, 81 like this. I was like, where is that wording that you passed the examination? I started looking for this. So it was there that congratulations, you have passed. I wanted to print out that information, but there was no printer attached. And the moment I came out of the center, I logged into my ACE account, aidfitness.org, and immediately saw my ACE certified health coach certification over there, and the reference letter and my scores. So I was super excited, but tired also. So initially I wanted immediately after my exam to record the video so that I can share my experience with you, but I was so tired, so I took some time to relax and then after 4-5 hours I thought, okay, I will pick up my study notes. So what I did, I opened these study notes and started marking whatever questions I had on the exam. So more than 100 questions I could record. Sorry, I can't share those questions with you, but when we are dealing with the chapter wise review, I will tell you how to go about learning the process, so that you are not just reading into it and going into the nitty-gritty details, how to link one information with the other. I will be coming to that portion. So another thing I want to tell you is that after the exam, now this is the second day, and suddenly I am feeling a big gap, that there is nothing more to do. No, there is not more to do. So what I'm thinking of, going to buy that motivational interviewing book by Miller. I'm giving the link in my description. You can also buy it when you get the time to read it and enhance my knowledge. I really need to know a lot more about this, how to talk with other people, and I am so excited to read about it, and I'm going to buy that book. So that gap of that there is nothing more to do, I will be fulfilling. Actually, there is so much to do. Being a full-time professional, it's not a easy job to manage your fitness interests, as well as looking after your domestic chores, looking after your children, the needs of the family, your own needs. But I'm doing well, and I want to really learn more about it. Now coming to the third point, that how I studied. I bought this package somewhere in December 2019, but due to my official commitments, I could do nothing in the month of December. So somewhere in mid-January, I started reading. Then I fell sick so there was around 10 to 15 days I could not study at all. Then once again I picked up my books, and first read I just wanted to read it, understand what exactly it is. So it took me around 15 to 60 days to read all those 18 chapters. So in first go I understood so many new concepts, but that idea of what it is to be a health coach was not sinking in. Maybe because I'm a ACE certified personal trainer, and that style of directing others, not being the guide, it was not coming into picture that how being a health coach I will be able to help people. So when I started doing my second reading, it became crisp clear that being a health coach is to be a behavior change expert. After passing the exam, exactly, we are not the experts. It takes time to build that expertise, and believe me, you have to do lot of more reading, lot of talking to other people, lot of handling of other clients, and revising, improving yourself during the process, and then maybe one point of time you will become expert, being a behavior change expert. So in my second reading of the material, I started jotting out everything. So I made notes, like you can see I have this book, this huge chapter wise, started noting, even going like this TTM theory, I made like this. Every chapter I noted down. I used 2 booklets to do this. So most of the important things I jotted down in these books. So when I did my second reading, I made these notes. Again, there was some gap in the studies. You must be aware that this COVID-19 situation has affected everyone worldwide. So due to that, my professional life was also affected. I had to go out of the town for some work. So for some time, there was a gap in the studies. So when I started reading for the third time, everything was becoming more clearer, and then I started typing everything on the word file. I made my notes, detailed notes, and the result of that work is, this is around 140 pages of notes which are there, and I have asked earlier also to all of you that if you want to have a copy of that, please send me a request. I will share my notes with you without any cost. There is no hidden or always cost involved. Please, if you want to share it, I am willing to share it. I have already shared with a few people also earlier also, so I am happy to share it. Now, when I was doing my third reading, I repeatedly watched those videos which are there in my ACE health coach program online given by ACE. Like listening to those videos is very, very important. When I was listening to those videos, those small details were coming time and again into like getting into my memory. And when I was attempting my exam, some of the questions, like when I was reading what to say to the client, some really were very close to what I listened in those videos. And another thing, important thing which I came to know, that I have an audio book also with this ACE health coach program, so that was really handy. In third reading, I actually used to put my audio on and then used to take my book, read it chapter wise, which was really helpful. So I used all the methods to retain that information, and it actually helped me. And watching those videos time and again really helped me. And listening to audio and then going through the book also helped me a lot. So coming to the fourth point, that what are the tips for preparation of the exam, and then how to ace the ACE health coach exam in the first go. I will be telling you that there are no shortcuts. This particular exam I found very tough in the sense that there are hardly any questions which are direct, you can direct answer them directly. Most of the questions are practical, based on the scenarios that you are handling a client. This is the client's situation, so how to go about it. So you can't cram it. My humble request to all of you is that please read as many times as possible, because every one of us has different styles of learning. We come from different backgrounds. Only one thing unites us is that passion to know about health and fitness and then help others in the process. So that passion unites us. So whatever study style you have, please don't bother that someone is saying I just did 15 days of reading and then I passed the exam. Please, we don't know that person's background, that he or she had some education about health coaching already. So please read as many times as possible, and when you are reading, you basically do the deep study, understand those terms deeply, like autonomy, empathy. What exactly is the meaning of those terms? So when the question comes in the exam, you are very clear of that empathy can be this only, nothing else. So out of those 4 choices, you should be crisp clear about it, that this is the only choice. This is only meant by compassion, empathy, autonomy, collaboration. So those meanings should be very clear. For that you have to read. There is no shortcut, right? And second thing which most of the times we forget is that we don't read this at the end of the book. You can find out there is a ACE code of ethics, right, which is very important to know, so that you can do well in the exam. There will be definitely 2 to 3 questions there which you definitely would not like to miss. And if you are aware of what is ACE code of ethics, there is like appendix A, ACE code of ethics. Please go through it. These are hardly 4 to 5 pages, but this is most important, because when you have understanding of these the code of ethics, then only you can answer those questions. Actually everything is related. You can't say there were only 2 to 3 questions for based on ethics, but when you have solid understanding of that what it is being to be a health coach, then only you can answer rest of the questions also. So my request is that please go through this appendix A, ACE code of ethics thoroughly. Try to figure out that how it relates to the real life. I mean, when you are working in a doing personal coaching in as an independent person, or working with some organization, then how these ethics will help you to be a professional. So this is must before even you start reading the book, right? The second important thing which people usually miss is the appendix B. Health coach exam content outline is given in appendix B. Now this particular topic gives you information regarding domains, tasks, knowledge and skill statements. If you go through it, you will come to know that these, you can see these percentages, you know, you get these percentages even on your exam also. When I cleared my exam, I came to know that how many percent I have gained in one particular domain. That helps you to know that where you are strong. So like first domain is coaching behavior change. 33% questions will be from this only, and largely it covers your first 3 chapters. Then conducting assessments and developing plans, next 3 chapters, chapter 5 to 6, and chapter 4, 5, 6. Then domain 3, implementing and adjusting individualized plans. So like from 7 to 16, all these chapters will be having 25% questions. Then domain 4, professional conduct and legal responsibility. There are only 2 chapters for that, chapter 17 and 18. And you will be having 16% questions from that area. The knowledge will be tested. So the thing is, you can't ignore even a single chapter. So I hope that it makes some sense. Please go through it and read this knowledge of skill in. It is given in detail what exactly. This will help you to understand how to really prepare for the exam, because reading is one thing, but going into those detail is totally different. Like when you are thinking about knowing about BMI, most of the people know that weight and your height, and you calculate BMI, but how to link it, that BMI calculation, with the client's health condition? He may be diabetic, he may be obese. So how to link that information and advise to the client, assist the client. So I hope you understand that how to go about it. Now I would like to tell you, so 3 things. There are no shortcuts, so please study, read time and again. Second, do go through ACE code of ethics. Third, ACE health coach exam content outline. It is available in the book, in this book also, as well as PDF book also. It is available. Please go through it deeply. Now if you would like, I would like to go chapter wise where to concentrate more. First thing I would like, another thing I would like to tell you is that most of the questions are scenario based, where you have to find out best, most, highest, greatest, and in many questions you will be having 2 answers, which really becomes very, very difficult sometimes. And believe me, if you have thorough knowledge, if you have thorough knowledge. Actually, I was over prepared for the exam, and that's how I could pass it. Because if you have thorough knowledge, then it is easier to link that why this option can't be the answer, why this option has to be there. So look for these when they are asking for most, best, highest and greatest. There will be two answers which you will find the same, but you, based on your knowledge and application in the real life, you will be able to find out what could be the best answer. So that you have to, that will only come into picture, like clear about it, when you are reading time and again and doing those practice tests time and again. Helped me, because when I was getting the answers wrong, I was not trying to cram the answer. I was trying to find out that out of these 4 options, the one I ticked as correct was wrong. Why it was wrong? Why rest of the options 2 are wrong and 1 is the correct one? So every wrong answer you have to find out that how it is not suitable for the particular question, because it is not like, the situation is not like this. Another thing I forget to tell you is that this study companion which has come with my package also, this is very, very important source of information, and it tells you clearly how to go about it. You will see this sheet, I have covered it with my marking my answers every time when I was doing my practice. So this study companion has like every where to concentrate. This has details how to go about it, from especially for these chapters, with the diseases. They have advised that you should make your chart, that what kind of exercises are required for a obese person, diabetic person. If you can make a chart, maybe will be easier for you to remember how to go about it when you are answering it. And another thing I would like to advise you is that when you are learning, always think from client's point of view, because when you are doing practically these things, how will you apply that knowledge? So that will help you to prepare for the exam. So don't ignore this study companion, do its practice test. It really helped me to understand the questions properly, because when you are doing time and again and making errors, and you are trying to figure out why you made that error, it helps you to dig deep and understand the material properly. So going through this, I will not be touching my book right now because it's very huge. I will be just going quickly through my notes and tell you where to concentrate more. Now the first chapter is of role of health coach, role and scope of health coach. You will not believe that there was not even a single question on my exam from this chapter. But can you ignore this chapter? No. That should be the first chapter which you should be reading, because when you are aware of your role and scope of health coach, then only you can understand rest of the concepts as well as apply them in real life. So don't ignore this chapter. What is health? What is wellness? It is very, very important to know what are the aims of health care. It is also very important to know. So your role and scope of work should be very clear to you, because based on that you can answer those 150 questions. It may sound like, okay, I can skip that. No, you can't skip that. Then the second chapter is again very important, core competencies of coaching. You should be very clear of about the concept of ocean, disc model. I received almost 2 questions on that. And then emotional intelligence. That concept took me long to understand what exactly it is, and I had a few questions on that also. Communication, types of communication, verbal communication, non-verbal communication. You should be crisp clear about it, and I had a few questions on that, a few questions on the reflections, open-ended questions. What is self-efficacy? A very important concept. Then examining barriers of change like time, travel, other people. There were questions on that also. And even health literacy. It may sound that we can ignore it, but it is very important. I remember that there was a question, how to tell that client from where to find that information. So you should be aware of how to figure that out. And then the 4 essentials of client-coach relationship, very important: acceptance, unconditional positive regard, autonomy, empathy, affirmations. Then this chapter 3rd, behavior change models and theories, very important chapter. Ecological perspective, that individuals are not just the product of themselves, they are the product of their circumstances, where they live, where they work, where they play, where they age. It is very important to understand, because this is not only from the exam point of view. When you are handling your clients, you will come to know that it is really important. And then you can't ignore this trans-theoretical model of behavior change, TTM. This is difficult also, and as well as very easy to understand also. But you have to devote lot of time to understand that what are the traits of a client when he or she is in this stages of change, and what should be the goals of that client, as well as your goals of that client, and how you will help the client to have those goals achieved, and what strategies you can use to during those stages of change. It is very important. There is a table in the book. Please go through that table. I have copied in my notes also. If you want those notes, you can let me know. Then processes of change, very important. There were around 3 to 4 questions, like stimulus control. It will not be directly that what is stimulus control. There will be a scenario, and you have to find that what that client did, whether it was counter conditioning, reinforcement management, or stimulus control, or social liberation, self liberation, environmental reevaluation, and all those processes of change, very important. There were 3 to 4 questions on that. There was one question on decisional balance, one on relapse also, that very important concept. Then when you are learning about self-efficacy, there are 4 features that how self-efficacy can be ensured: mastery experiences, motivational models, persuasive messages, stress arousal. Please be clear about all these concepts. It is important. Then health belief model, you can't ignore it. You should be aware of perceived susceptibility, perceived seriousness, benefits and barriers. Please be clear about them. Then what is learned helplessness, very important. Attribution theory, locus of control, self-determination theory, self-perception theory, autonomy, motivations, types of motivation, very important. Intrinsic motivation, integrity motivation, identified, introjected motivation, external regulation, and all that. I think I said it wrongly. Intrinsic motivation, integrity regulation, identified regulation, introjected regulation, external regulation, or motivation. So chapter 4, skills and methods for supporting lifestyle. MI technique, motivational interviewing, the most important concept. So how to go about ORS. You should be clear about what is open-ended questions, what is affirmations, what is reflective listening, what is summary, how to paraphrase when client is saying something. So very important. Cognitive behavioral coaching, very important. Cognitive distortions, there were 2 to 3 questions on that also. Then another concept, the distortions people have, like labeling, personalization and blame, overgeneralizing, magnification, all or nothing thinking, jumping to conclusion, very important. I had almost 2 questions on that. Then cognitive restructuring, how to do that, there were 2 questions on that also, very important. Actually first to 6 chapter 1 to chapter 6, all are 6 chapters are the most important chapters, and the knowledge of these chapters, first 6 chapters, is applied when you have clients with all those kind of diseases, or diseases like obesity, diabetes, osteoporosis, and then eating disorders, physical activity, sleep, substance abuse. So these concepts of first 6 chapter you apply to those next chapter. The questions will be like that only. So real application. So if you have deep knowledge, then only you will be able to apply. So I will not be doing rest of the chapters because everything is important, and when you are remembering all these charts about BMI, WHR, definitely retain that information, that when the percentage is like this will be a obese person or overweight, but try to relate it also with the client's point of view, that if the situation is like this, what will happen, because there will not be a direct question that okay, this is the BMI, please tell the person is underweight or not. No, there will not be a single question like this. You will be having different options. Another style of questions which I found was like when you are interviewing a new client, so what is the process to be followed? Will you be taking that life and health history questionnaire first, or doing the interview first? So there was like sequence 1, 2, 3. So what you will be doing the first, that sequence you have to find out of those 4 questions. That was interesting. If you have thorough knowledge, then only you can do that. So you can't miss studying any chapter. Interestingly, there was no question from the stress chapter, the chapter which gave me a lot of stress to study. But I found lot of questions from nutrition chapter, especially those calculations, calorie calculations, and they were not easy in the sense they were not direct calculation, always via this thing. I mean, maybe if I time permits, I will be making some video on that also, how to go about that type of questions. So regarding some people have expressed their doubt that there will be a lot of questions on your exercises, repetitions, sets and all that. The information given in the book is sufficient to answer those questions. There will be 3-4 questions like, but it depends what kind of paper you are having. If you are getting more, maybe it may be your bad luck that you may not be able to answer, but I got only 3 to 4 questions and I could easily answer, being a certified personal trainer. So but I still feel that you need not go into your revising your CPT manual again to answer those questions. The material given in the book itself is more than sufficient to do it. So chapters 17 and 18 are also very, very important, and please go through them. There were a few questions. There are actually supposed to be 16% questions from this chapter 17 and 18. So you can't ignore these chapters. So that's all. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment sections. I will be able to cover it, answer your queries in the comment section. And if you have liked the video, please share it with your friends so that others also can get help out of it. I have recently opened my YouTube channel and I would like to share with you why I opened it. Actually, I fear doing public speaking and I want to overcome that fear, and I hope I have done justice when I was speaking to you, all of you. And do let me in the comment section whether you liked it, the video or not, whether it helped you in any way or not. And if you have liked it, please press the like button and share with your friends. And another thing I would like to request you is that right now I have some time available, and memory of this book is totally fresh in my mind, and I have no plans to start any business because already I am occupied. I don't want to start any business in health and fitness industry as of now, maybe for the next decade or so. So in the meantime, I can help all of you to study for your health coach exam, and if you want that I shall make videos on each and every chapter or specific concepts, please let me know in the comment section. And I am planning also study videos on the certified personal trainer exam also. So if you feel that it will help you in any way, please let me know. Thank you so much for listening to my views, my experience. I hope it helped you. Namaste.